In 1962, the tension between the USA and the Soviet Union is extremely high. Rumors are spreading that the Soviets might drop an atomic bomb soon. Americans are panicking, and many start building bomb shelters in their backyards. Dr. Calvin, in particular, works very hard on his bunker, stocking it with enough supplies to last many years. One day, Calvin and his pregnant wife, Helen, host a party at their home. Everything seems fine until they watch President Kennedy on TV. He announces a secret mission against the Soviet Union, but doesn't share any details. Calvin immediately panics, thinking war is about to break out. So he kicks out all the guests and takes Helen down to the bunker. Just moments later, an airplane flying over the city has a mechanical problem and crashes right into their house, completely destroying it. In the bunker, Calvin hears the loud noises and feels the vibrations from the crash. He assumes the war has started, so he quickly seals the door, explaining to Helen that it will automatically open after 35 years when it's safe. The authorities investigate the wreckage, but finding no survivors, assume that Calvin and Helen died in the crash. Time passes in the bunker. Calvin feels comfortable with their new life underground, but Helen hates it. Soon her water breaks, and with Calvin's help, she gives birth to a baby boy named Adam. Days turn into years, and Adam grows up into a smart, young boy. Calvin teaches him everything, hoping that one day Adam will help restore the country to its former greatness. Besides basic school subjects, Adam learns boxing, French, Latin, and even how to manage the stock market. Helen teaches him to do chores, dance, and they both make sure he has good manners, raising him to be polite and sheltered. The family settles into a routine, playing pretend in their mini-mart, fishing in a tank, and building a new room for Adam as he grows. There's even a lounge for reading, playing games, and relaxing. Meanwhile, above ground, the land where their house once stood changes hands many times, becoming a diner, pizzeria, and nightclub over the years. In Pompon, by 1995, Adam turns 33, and his parents give him handmade gifts. As he blows out his birthday candles, Adam wishes to find the perfect partner one day. Helen comments that only 2 years are left until they can leave, which makes Calvin say he'll miss the bunker. Helen, frustrated, goes to another room to let out a scream. Finally, in 1997, the 35 years pass and the door opens. The family is eager to leave, but Calvin insists on going up first to check if it's safe. Wearing a radiation suit, he takes the elevator up and finds himself in an abandoned building filled with drunk homeless people. One of them, Melker, faints at the sight of Calvin, who looks like a glowing figure emerging from the ground. Shocked by how much the world has changed, Calvin sees graffiti-covered walls, people casually carrying guns, adult stores, and people speaking in ways he doesn't understand. Horrified, he rushes back to the bunker, convinced that the world outside is a post-apocalyptic wasteland filled with mutants. He tells Helen and Adam they must stay in the bunker, which causes Helen to lose her temper. She screams at Calvin, expressing how fed up she is with being locked underground and how much Adam needs to experience the world. During the argument, Calvin has a heart attack. With him sick and their supplies running low, Helen decides to send Adam outside to get more food for the next few years. She gives him money and a list of items, instructing him to stay at the Holiday Inn and to look for a nice, unmutated girl. Calvin, still stuck on his beliefs, warns Adam not to enter the adult video store, saying it's radioactive. After packing his things, Adam finally steps outside. He's thrilled to see the sky, buildings, trees, and people for the first time. However, others think he's strange. Meanwhile, Melker has started a small cult, worshipping Calvin's family as holy beings after seeing Calvin rise from the ground. Adam, unaware of this, begins his adventure in the modern world, taking in all the sights and experiences that have been missing from his sheltered life underground. Adam is a guy who gets really excited about everything, even small things. He says hello to everyone he sees on the street, but when he meets a black woman, he accidentally uses a slur because he's overexcited about meeting someone with a different skin color. After that, he walks by an adult video store, covers his nose, and tells others to do the same. Then, he gets on a bus for the first time and feels scared when the bus starts moving. He tries talking to the other passengers, but he uses really old-fashioned words, so no one understands him, and they think he's strange. When Adam finally gets to the grocery store, he starts picking up everything from his shopping list. The butcher offers to deliver his order to his home if it's a big one. This is when Adam realizes he doesn't even know how to get back to the bunker. Panicking, he leaves the store and spends the whole day riding different buses, Adam is also running low on cash, so he goes into a hobby shop to sell some of his dad's old baseball cards. The shop owner sees that the cards are really valuable, but instead of being honest, he offers to buy them all for only $500. Just before Adam agrees to sell, the shop assistant Eve steps in and stops the deal. She tells Adam that the cards are worth between $4,000 and $6,000 each, and she quits her job because of the scam. Adam is super impressed by her courage and starts to develop a crush on her. After they leave the shop, Adam asks Eve to take him to a Holiday Inn. Eve tries to run away at first, but she changes her mind when Adam promises to give her 2 baseball cards as payment. While they're driving, Adam picks all the old songs on the radio, which Eve thinks is a little odd. After dropping dropping him off at the hotel, Eve leaves without saying much. At the hotel, Adam is amazed by the view from the 18th floor, and he enjoys watching color TV for the first time. He even wakes up early the next day to see the sunrise. That morning, Eve returns to give the baseball cards back, feeling guilty about taking so much money for a small favor. As she tries to leave, Adam offers to hire her as his assistant to help him collect supplies for his bunker. Eve agrees, and they go shopping together, buying enough things to last 2 more years. They hire several trucks to carry everything. Adam also surprises her by mentioning that he wants to find a wife. After shopping, Eve takes Adam to her place where he meets her roommate, Troy. Troy notices how shocked Adam is by modern technology and starts asking him a bunch of questions. Adam, trying to cover up his lack of knowledge, says he's from Alaska and that he's in town on a business trip. The next day, Troy gives Adam a fashion makeover, making him look even more attractive. Over the next few days, Eve and Troy show Adam all sorts of new experiences. They go dancing to modern music, teach him to skateboard, and take him to the ocean. Adam gets so excited at the beach that he jumps right into the water without thinking. He also watches a baseball game for the first time and finally understands why his dad loves it so much. One afternoon, it starts raining, and Adam stands in the rain completely amazed. When Eve checks on him, Adam gives her a hug, sharing his joy and saying his dad would call the rain a miracle. That evening, Eve and Troy take Adam to a swing club, hoping he'll find a wife there. They tell him to just be himself. Women at the club are immediately drawn to Adam because of his sweet personality, good manners, and good looks. Eve's rival catches his attention, and they start talking, which makes Eve jealous. She pulls Adam aside and tells him he deserves a kind woman, not someone like her rival. Later, Adam dances with another girl, and they steal the spotlight on the dance floor with his incredible dance moves. Eve tries to ignore her jealousy by chatting with her ex-boyfriend, who starts mocking Adam and tries to provoke a fight. But Adam, thanks to his boxing lessons, quickly intimidates the guy and makes him back off. That be Indian new guy in Mass Colthburg. And Pace, irritated by all the drama, Eve leaves the club and goes home by herself. Later, Troy arrives and tells her that Adam left the club with her rival. This makes Eve realize she has feelings for Adam, so she rushes out to find him. As she gets into her car, she's startled when someone knocks on the window, and she accidentally falls to the ground. It turns out to be Adam, who helps her inside and tends to a scratch she got. Adam explains that he had to reject other girls because he couldn't stop thinking about Eve, and then he confesses his feelings for her. Now that they are together, Adam decides it's time to tell Eve the truth about his family and where he lives. He also tells her that he wants to marry her so she can live with him in his bunker. But Eve misunderstands, thinking Adam is a crazy person who has just been hiding it well. She immediately kicks him out of her place. The next day, Troy teaches Adam how to drive and takes him around town. While driving, Adam spots an adult video store he recognizes from before. He follows the road and eventually finds the building above his bunker, where Melker has started a whole religion centered around the elevator. Excited by this, Adam rushes back to tell Eve the news, but when he arrives, 2 psychiatrists are waiting for him. He tries to play along with them, but as soon as he sees an opportunity, he escapes. One doctor chase after him, while the other tries to call the police. However, Eve stops her, realizing she made a mistake by calling them. During all this, Adam runs by Eve, gives her the key to his hotel room so she can pay the bill with his cards, and then escapes in a rented truck, accidentally hitting the doctor's car as he drives away. Later, Eve and Troy go to Adam's hotel room, where they find a bunch of old items from the 1960s, including Calvin stock certificates, which are now worth millions. This makes them realize Adam was telling the truth all along. Meanwhile, Adam returns to the bunker and reunites with his parents after being away for 2 weeks. He tells them how wonderful the outside world is and brings in supplies with the help of Melker and his friends. Back in town, Eve is desperate to find Adam, so Troy takes her to the adult video store. They stomp on the floor, hoping to find the bunker, but find nothing. As they leave, they spot Adam about to enter a nearby building, but Eve rushes to him, and they embrace. Adam invites Eve. During that time, Adam and Eve sell Calvin stocks and use the money to build a new house in the countryside, which looks exactly like Adam's old home. Melker helps and quits drinking along the way. Once the house is finished, Adam brings his parents to it so they can slowly adjust to the modern world. Later, while Helen and Eve are preparing dinner, Adam tells Calvin the truth about the world, that there was never an atomic war. The bomb was actually a plane crash and the Soviet Union no longer exists. Calvin, however, refuses to believe it and starts planning to build another bunker just in case. Subscribe for popcorn. We are racing towards 1,000 subscribers.